The Young and the Restless week of May 4th update. Michael rescues Phyllis. Matt's next move, Adam grilled. The Young and the Restless, Y&R, spoilers for May 4th to 8th indicate that Michael Baldwin, Christian LeBlanc, will help Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, against Victor Newman's, Eric Braeden wishes. Matt Clark, Roger Howarth, will also re-enter the picture while Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, faces some questions from Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan. Since Phyllis is about to get arrested, she'll need some legal assistance. Although Phyllis and Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, Tracy Bregman, recently lashed out at Michael over his loyalty to Victor, he'll come through for Phyllis when it counts. It looks like Michael will make sure Phyllis gets out on bail and help her deal with the damage to her reputation. Phyllis's arrest is sure to launch a scandal that'll create even more problems at Summers' conglomerate. Kane Ashby's Billy Flynn arrest will bring issues too, since he won't be able to immediately fly to New York, where Malcolm Winter's Shamar Moore treatment is set to happen. That means Kane's procedure will have to be postponed, so Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, will worry over this news and lean on Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, for support. However, Kane will vow to have Amanda Sinclair, Miss Hale Morgan, step up and hopefully get him out on bail ASAP. The thought of letting Lily down will crush Kane, so he'll promise to figure this out and still make that New York trip soon. Over with Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, he'll blast Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, when he learns his name is included in the bogus email evidence. Victoria will discover that Billy is now engaged to Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, with a baby on the way, so she'll realize he really doesn't need the threat of prison hanging over him. Will Victoria be able to help Billy avoid legal charges of his own? Next, Y&R spoilers say Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, will let Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller, take the lead on his Patty Williams, Stacey Hayduk scheme. If Kyle can get Patty to cooperate, she could become a key player in ensuring Victor and Nikki Newman's, Melody Thomas Scott, relationship never gets repaired. Back with Phyllis, she'll fret over Nick Newman's, Joshua Morrow, behavior. Nick might show some signs of withdrawal in front of Phyllis and leave her concerned. Nick will also make a big admission to Victoria, so she may hear about his drug addiction and his promise to overcome it. As for Chelsea, she'll grill Adam about Reza Thompson, Tina Kashani, and the charade he put on in Vegas. Adam will no doubt assure Chelsea that she's the only woman he loves and wants. Matt will also return to Genoa City, so look for him to go on a journey and eventually pop up in the athletic club. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Matt's story is far from over, so stick with us for all the twists and turns to come. The latest week of drama in The Young and the Restless begins with chaos already spreading across Genoa City as dangerous secrets, emotional betrayals, and shifting alliances push several lives to the breaking point. At the center of the storm is Phyllis Summers, whose situation takes a terrifying turn that forces Michael Baldwin into a heroic rescue that no one saw coming. Phyllis has always been known for her resilience, her schemes, and her ability to survive even the most explosive situations, but this time she finds herself trapped in a scenario that feels far more dangerous than anything she has faced before. Whether it is a calculated setup, a manipulation orchestrated by enemies, or a fallout from her own risky choices, Phyllis suddenly becomes vulnerable in a way that shocks even those closest to her. That is when Michael Baldwin steps in, driven by loyalty, urgency, and a deep understanding that Phyllis, despite all her flaws, is someone worth saving when the stakes become life or death. Michael's rescue mission unfolds under intense pressure as he navigates legal complications, personal risk, and the ever-present threat of enemies who would love nothing more than to see Phyllis permanently silenced. His determination reveals just how far he is willing to go when someone he cares about is in danger, even if it means bending rules or confronting powerful forces head-on. Meanwhile, Phyllis's emotional state swings between panic, defiance, and gratitude as she realizes just how close she came to losing everything. The rescue does not simply free her from physical danger, but also exposes deeper layers of manipulation and hidden agendas that may have been targeting her for some time. As Michael pulls her back from the edge, questions immediately arise about who orchestrated the trap and why Phyllis remains such a significant target in Genoa City's ongoing web of power struggles. Suspicion quickly turns toward multiple potential adversaries, each with their own motives, but one name continues to resurface in whispers of danger and revenge: Matt. Matt's next move becomes the subject of intense speculation as his presence looms like a shadow over every developing storyline. Whether this refers to Matt Clark or another calculated threat tied to past vendettas, his influence suggests that the danger surrounding Phyllis is far from over. Instead, Michael's rescue may have only disrupted the first phase of a much larger plan. Matt is portrayed as someone who never acts impulsively, instead carefully orchestrating moves that slowly tighten the noose around his targets. His next step is expected to escalate tension dramatically, potentially shifting from subtle manipulation to direct confrontation. There is growing fear that Matt's agenda extends beyond Phyllis alone and could involve destabilizing multiple power players in Genoa City at once, using psychological warfare, hidden leverage, and carefully timed revelations to create maximum chaos. This looming threat keeps everyone on edge, especially Michael, who now realizes that saving Phyllis may have placed him directly in Matt's crosshairs. While Phyllis recovers from her ordeal, she begins to piece together fragmented clues about how she ended up in danger, leading her to suspect that someone within her professional or personal circle may have played a role in setting her up. Her survival instinct kicks in immediately, and instead of retreating into vulnerability, she begins planning her own counterattack. However, Michael urges caution, warning her that rushing into revenge could trigger even more dangerous consequences if Matt is indeed behind the operation. Their dynamic becomes a mix of trust, tension, and mutual frustration as both struggle to balance emotional reactions with strategic thinking. Meanwhile, Adam Newman finds himself under increasing pressure as he is grilled by multiple parties who suspect his involvement in recent events affecting the Newman and broader Genoa City power structure. Adam has long been used to suspicion, accusations, and being treated as the family outsider, but this latest round of questioning feels particularly intense, suggesting that someone may be actively trying to pin new chaos on him regardless of his actual involvement. Whether Adam is truly connected to the unfolding crisis or simply being used as a convenient scapegoat remains unclear, but what is certain is that he is forced into defensive mode. The grilling forces Adam to confront uncomfortable truths about his reputation, his past decisions, and the way others perceive him even when he may not be directly responsible for current events. Victor Newman's influence is strongly felt in this situation, as any suspicion involving Adam often intersects with Victor's broader concerns about control, legacy, and family stability. Adam, however, refuses to be cornered easily. His responses are calculated, sharp, and layered with just enough ambiguity to keep others guessing about what he truly knows. At the same time, he begins quietly investigating whether Matt's growing influence could be connected to the pressure he is facing, recognizing that Genoa City's latest wave of chaos may be part of a larger coordinated strategy rather than isolated incidents. As Michael continues helping Phyllis recover, their alliance strengthens in unexpected ways. Phyllis, despite her tendency toward independence and defiance, begins to acknowledge that she may need allies she can trust more than ever before. Michael, on the other hand, is forced to confront how deeply entangled he remains in Genoa City's constant cycle of crisis management, where legal ethics, personal loyalty, and survival often collide. Their partnership becomes central to unraveling the truth behind her rescue and identifying who truly benefits from her suffering. Meanwhile, Matt's shadow presence grows stronger as subtle clues begin to surface, hinting that his strategy may involve destabilizing multiple key relationships simultaneously. If Phyllis is one target, Adam may be another pawn in a much larger game, and Michael could be caught in the middle simply by trying to do the right thing. The interconnected nature of these storylines suggests that Genoa City is once again on the brink of a major explosion where secrets will be exposed, alliances will shift, and trust will be tested beyond repair. Phyllis, determined not to remain a victim, begins to reassert control over her narrative, but she quickly realizes that every move she makes could be anticipated by an unseen strategist. Michael's legal expertise becomes increasingly valuable as he attempts to trace the origins of the setup, but even he acknowledges that they may be dealing with an opponent who is always several steps ahead. Adam's interrogation arc continues to intensify as more questions are thrown his way, forcing him to carefully navigate between honesty and self-preservation. He begins to suspect that someone is deliberately using chaos to manipulate perceptions and redirect blame toward him. This realization places Adam in a precarious position where he must decide whether to cooperate fully with investigators or take matters into his own hands to uncover the real source of manipulation. Across Genoa City, tension builds as other characters begin sensing that something bigger is unfolding beneath the surface. The rescue of Phyllis is no longer viewed as an isolated incident, but as part of a broader pattern of instability. Matt's next move remains the most frightening unknown factor, as his calculated silence suggests that something significant is being prepared behind the scenes. Whether it involves legal sabotage, corporate warfare, or deeply personal revenge, the anticipation alone is enough to keep everyone on edge. Michael finds himself questioning how far he is willing to go if Phyllis is targeted again, while Phyllis begins considering alliances she previously would have dismissed. Adam, meanwhile, becomes increasingly aware that staying passive may no longer be an option if he wants to clear his name and protect his future. As the week progresses, emotional stakes rise alongside the growing sense of danger. Michael's rescue of Phyllis becomes a turning point that draws him deeper into Genoa City's ongoing web of conflict. Phyllis's survival sparks both gratitude and renewed determination, but also fear that the worst is still yet to come. Adam's interrogation pushes him closer to confrontation with powerful forces that may not be interested in the truth, only in control. And Matt's looming presence ensures that every victory may be temporary, every rescue part of a larger trap, and every alliance potentially fragile. By the end of the week, it becomes clear that Genoa City is not simply reacting to chaos, it is being shaped by it. And as Michael, Phyllis, and Adam each navigate their own battles, the unseen hand of Matt suggests that the next move could change everything in ways no one is prepared for.